everyone. Welcome to the Play Choices podcast, a podcast you hear. I'm your host, V.
Hi, I'm the co-host Lucas.
So we're going to spend this episode discussing our favorite, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
favorite chapters 1 through 3 of the Nanny Affair Book 2, bitch. Book 2. Because somehow this book got a sequel. And I'm still trying to figure out how. So this episode is not spoiler safe, so if you want to avoid spoilers for the Nanny Affair Book 1 and Book 2, specifically chapters 1 through 3 from Book 2, please go read those first and we'll be here for you to come back and listen. Also, additionally, the Nanny Affair does have a 17 plus age and content warning because this book discusses sexual themes, and we just want to warn you that if you're someone who is either uncomfortable with those type of topics or if you're underage, then I think you should go find a different episode that doesn't have these type of content warnings. Let's start with the notes for the Nanny for Book 2, Chapter 1, titled The Return. As a reminder, the MC's default name is Anna, and the chapter summary says, with Sofia out of the picture, you and Sam Dalton are finally together, but will your relationship be able to handle the spotlight? So the book will open up with a flash forward where Anna is confessing to an unknown character about never feeling good enough for Sam. The unknown character will comment saying that it's actually the other way around and starts to talk about what it would be like if Anna was dating them instead. We learn that the conflict Anna is talking about has something to do with Sam hiding their relationship. I will also say this quote unquote, unknown character is not gender customizable, not really. They're the same gender, whatever your Sam is. So if you have like a female Sam, you'll see a female character. If you have a male Sam, you'll see a male character.
Which I don't like because how you gonna
No,
introduce an LI and I can't even customize them?
I know. I was so mad. I said, "What if I decide that I want to cheat with a woman? Why am I married to choosing a male stranger?"
It would be different if because you know how like other books, there are multiple LIs that are just set. Like you're gonna like them or not. This is what they look like. Whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
But if we're going from a single LI book, which we could customize, to a book that
Mhm.
might introduce another LI that can cause problems, why can't we
Mhm.
customize them?
I I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, to be honest. I've really thought about it because I have not played Head in the Nanny Affair, so like
Mm-hmm.
just know that I am going into this with, as blind of an eye as you are.
Right.
But I did play, I think, chapters 1 through 2 when they first released, and I remember just being like, so I can't play like with a female, I don't know what to call them. Mistress? I don't know what to call them. But I was really disappointed, and I was trying to figure out like what would be the reasoning behind it, especially because it's not like they didn't have to make like 4 skins per gender. Like it basically looks like the same person, but one has longer hair and tits. It's like really the only difference. So I don't understand why they couldn't just like let us pick the genders for but here's the thing too, like I don't think that this character is going to be like an actual li.
Oh, okay.
Which is because I think there's definitely, it's weird, right? Because it's a single li book, but like there's been multiple times where they have attempted to try to like distract us with a different person, like the
That is
light flirting
true.
with Robin,
Mm-hmm.
the light flirting with this unknown character. So like I don't actually think that I don't think they're investing the customization option because they don't, like, they know that they're not going to let us fuck this person.
Right. They're like he is there or she is there, depending on who your Sam is, to cause
Hmm.
conflict. That's it.
Drama.
Right. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, yeah.
It would be the same as like trying to customize Sophia. It just would be pointless. Like Sophia, they had a path, a track for her, and I think it's gonna be the same way with this character.
Okay, okay.
That's what I suspect though. Like I said, I
Yeah.
haven't played ahead, so I have seen a couple of spoilers just because people, like to tweet about it as they play, which is fine. But like I haven't seen anything that like has made me think that like this person's gonna be a serious ally. So we'll end the flash forward where Anna is on the plane back to the US after ending their time in Naples. We learn that Sam intends to drop the boys to their grandparents' house, giving Anna and Sam some alone time. So in the limo home, Sam will initiate some steaminess, a little bit of a sex scene, and there is an 18 diamond scene to continue it when you get to the penthouse. Did you take the scene?
Hell no.
No.
I didn't.
No.
You walked away from you chose me over your company, over your family, over whatever vision and whatever plan everyone has set for you. And I still got to pay for us to have some sneaky time? Hell
Yeah.
no. Hell no.
I get it if you're someone who was like really into Sam and like you waited the year or 2 years, I can't remember how long it's been since the Nanny Affair 1 ended, and you just really like you're really into Sam and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to fuck them again. But for me, I was just like, it's one of those things where it's like now that we're in a relationship, like, do I think it's hot anymore? No.
No, right?
Like
It's
y'all just
not.
fucking. Y'all just
Right.
fucking. There's no stakes to this shit anymore.
At
And like
all.
I'm sorry to make it sound like a terrible person. Like I was the first person to say that in book 1, Sam, Anna, Sophia, and Robin are all douchebags. But listen, let's give some credit. There's a reason why people cheat. It's because there's a little bit of risk. And the risk makes it hot, right? Like that
Absolutely.
has to. I've never cheated before in my life, so like I don't know. I'm just speaking hypothetically, but like that's what I assume, right? Like if you were gonna cheat, you're like, oh, this is kind of hot because like it's risky. It's supposed to be a secret, and like it's just. I don't feel like I said from the last episode we did on this series, I don't really believe that they're in love. Like, not really. And they're like, oh, we can't wait to get to the penthouse and fuck, as if y'all weren't fucking it up like rabbits in Italy.
No, for real.
Y'all finished the whole summer in Italy. So, like, I just really don't want to hear it. I really don't. I didn't take this scene. Actually, did I? I can't remember.
Well, if V did take the scene,
If
obviously it
I did
wasn't
take
very
the scene,
memorable.
it wasn't very memorable. The only thing that I do remember is that because it's the opening sex scene of a book that is obviously very sex heavy, they did create a lot of artwork, which the artwork is really nice. Like, I would recommend if you didn't take the scene, go on YouTube and watch the scene because the artwork is great. But did I care for the sex? Not really. And it's nothing against the writing. It's just like there's nothing about the character that makes me want to pay 18 diamonds to fuck them when like truly nothing has happened. Like there's been no plot. They
At
didn't
all.
even like really like warm me up, I don't think. Like I don't think
No.
the foreplay that was happening in the limo was like enough to make me be like, "Oh yeah, I want to see more of this." Like I've seen Sam's dick cuz I'm playing a male Sam. I've seen Sam's dick like literally all fucking book 1. Like it's
Mhm.
not new to me
Mhm.
anymore. You will not be getting the cash from me. Thank you so much. So afterwards, Sam will ask Anna to unpack her bags in the master bedroom with Sam. Anna is shocked, and Sam will say that they can figure out what to say to the boys later, which I thought was very weird because how do the boys not know yet?
Mm.
Y'all
Don't get
kissed
me
each other like in front of them?
don't get me started on them. Like, do you
Come on.
know
Yeah, we already know.
they left the wedding. They left the wedding with you. And
Uh-huh.
then you had this whole like dramatic moment, Sam coming up to, the main character coming up to Anna like, "You're mine. I love you. Like, let's be together. I choose you." And now suddenly we got to talk to the boys for what?
Yeah. I just don't I don't really believe that the boys don't know. Because I can't imagine they weren't sleep. They literally said, actually, Sam literally said this. Sam literally said, we were sleeping in the same room in Italy, anyways. Didn't he say that? Do
Oh
you remember that?
God, yes. The way they make these children like just like cause issues for plot reasons and not for
Yes.
realistic reasons, it's just so crazy because you have the boys who literally love Anna so freaking much. They know that Anna cares about them. They
Mm-hmm.
truly admire Anna.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Sam is their parental figure. In what world would the boys ever be mad if they got together?
I don't, never. Like,
Like,
literally not at all.
come on now. I digress. Make it make sense, Troy.
Right. Lord. The way that the writers just manipulate Mason and Mickey to just be like,
Villains.
yeah,
Y'all heard it
pretty
here first,
much.
folks.
Pretty much. Like, these kids love her. They're not gonna get upset if they find out, oh, she put her toothbrush in the master
All
bathroom.
right, come
They don't give a fuck.
on.
That doesn't affect them at all.
When
They've
are
been
the
living with
boys?
Anna for months.
When are the boys even in Sam's room, anyways? Like, it's
Never! Literally never! What does it have to do with them?
Jesus.
They've been living with Anna for a minimum of 3 months. Like, they know what the fucking routine is, okay? Lord, anywho, so Sam will fire Anna, telling Anna that she's a lot more than the nanny position. Anna does get nervous and comments that her being around Sam will be more suspicious now because they, don't have the nanny excuse for why she's there. And she is nervous that the new nanny will know what's going on between them. So Sam just says, don't worry, we're going to hire someone discreet. We're going to make them sign an NDA. Nobody's going to know. So a few days later, Sam and Anna begin interviewing for the newly open position. The interviews are largely duds, and Sam and Anna move to their last candidate, whose name is Jordan Lay. Jordan has a very impressive and relevant background to being a nanny, and compliments Anna on how she handled the scandal in Italy. So the boys will come in and automatically be like very defensive around Jordan. They automatically don't like him. Sam will apologize to Jordan for their rudeness, saying that Robin must have rubbed off on them. So we're in book 2, and the hate for Robin has not subsided whatsoever.
And I don't like that comment because it insinuates that, like, he has some beef with Robin, and, like, the only beef that it should be over is who's gonna get CEO. But
Yeah.
that came from, like, a very, like, I don't know, like, I would, if if this was me and Sam said that, I would
Mm-hmm.
look at Sam and I would be like, why, you mad that, like, he was fucking Sofia?
Right.
Like, why is that comment necessary? You mad for what?
At what point does this just become a wash? You
That's what
know?
I'm saying. That's what. No one should care. Like, no one should fucking
Yeah, we
care.
should all just be over this. Like, we should all just say, like, none of us played our cards right. Okay. So maybe we should not be arguing about this. Like, I just truly do not understand, like, what the big fucking deal is. And, like, it's so strange, too. It's like this beef, like, the reason why I don't like the conflict between Sam and Robin is because the beef isn't even real beef. Like, we don't even know what the context is or what started it. Because to be completely candid with you, Sam's been talking shit about Robin since like the beginning of book 1. And that was before like he had even anything like real to kind of point to. Like at the most Sam complained about Robin being like kind of a playboy and a partier. But like so were you, Sam. So were you. So now you just mad because Robin's living the same kind of like bachelor or bachelorette life that you were. And I really don't understand. It feels like they already like Sam already didn't like Robin, and Robin fucking Sofia was just like, oh, and there's Robin goes again. And it's like, you didn't like him in the first place.
One point that I would like to make is that Robin is adopted. So I feel like Sam might, hate the fact that Robin doesn't really need to, meet their parents' expectations as well as Sam would have.
Yeah, I do remember Sam mentioning that multiple times, which I get. But my
Hmm.
issue is that it's like a double-edged sword between
Absolutely.
Sam and Robin. Because like the same way that Sam can point at Robin and be like, our parents have higher expectations of me than you, Robin can be like, yeah, and they give me less because of it.
Exactly.
So like to me, like the whole cheating thing is a wash. The whole like competition with your parenting is a wash because there's pros and cons for both people involved. Now, I'm not saying that it's unrealistic because I'm sure you know siblings that are like this, where there's pros and cons to both of their sides, but they hold it against their sibling anyways,
Right.
even though it's not their fault. So I definitely think it's a realistic conflict because siblings definitely bigger like this. But to me, it's just like I just don't care. Like Sam, I feel like they're trying to be like, oh, Sam's the good guy. Or assuming you play male Sam. And I'm not buying it.
Me either. Me
I'm not buying it.
either.
I'm not buying this whole like good guy, bad guy between Sam and Robin. I think they both suck. I'm just like,
Yes.
you hating on Robin for what? Because Robin's living their bachelorette life and partying like you were before Mason and Mickey were born.
Right. And Robin doesn't have any real responsibilities other than the company.
Really.
Robin doesn't have children. Robin doesn't have a very important significant other.
Uh-huh.
Like, I just feel like Sam came at this from a territorial point of view of like my company, my marriage, and like
Yeah.
got mad that Robin had his hand in the cookie jar for both things.
If you have beef, take it up with your parents. I don't talk to
Oh,
them.
right, like
Don't bring it up.
absolutely,
And then it's like
absolutely.
it also makes me upset because he's like, "Oh, they must have spent too much time with their Uncle Robin." And I'm like, "Can you not bring your kids into this like regardless of whatever like your little,
Hmm.
annoyances are with Robin? Don't make your kids just like him either. Like don't I hate that.
Yeah, that's so
Drag the
awkward.
kids into it. I hate that shit. Let's continue on with the rest of the chapter.
Absolutely.
So the boys will ask to go to the park, and the interview will continue there if you choose the 15 diamond scene, which I'm just gonna be candid. We've recorded this like it feels like 3 times now because we keep running into audio issues. So I know that you didn't pick this.
I did. And fuck these kids. Fuck this whole setup of like trying to, see if this nanny is a good match for them. Like, I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care. Like,
yeah. I did pick it just because Jordan is the person from the flash forward that we saw in the beginning of chapter 1, so we know that like Jordan was the one who was propositioning Anna to like have a relationship with them. And I just want to know more about Jordan, which is why I took the scene, but it's completely pointless because Jordan is in the scene for like 2 seconds. So I didn't really get what I wanted from the scene. But Anna and Sam will give tips to Jordan on how to handle the twins when they're out, and then Jordan will pretty much just like jump right into the job. Anna and Mason will branch off from the group as they're playing, and Anna will ask Mason how he feels about Jordan, and Mason will say it doesn't really matter because all of their nannies leave. So,
oh
the
God,
whole
here we
conflict
go.
about them, like, having like the abandonment issues that what's funny? They had an issue about the twins having abandonment issues, and then PB abandoned that plot line in the last
Absolutely.
3 chapters of the Nanny Affair Book 1. And now we're revisiting it again. So the inconsistency in the twins like character development, it's just not there.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about these children because they irrelevant. Let's talk about the fact how the foreshadowing was like months in advance, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I can't recall. But I'll go with what you're saying.
I just feel like the what's gonna happen? That little snippet of Anna and Jordan talking and Jordan being like, "Well, if you chose me," like
Mhm.
obviously, granted, were we on a fast track, like speeding bullet train in Sam's relationship? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. But like that time frame, like I think that's weird that like they wouldn't have Jordan be more significant in this diamond scene when obviously it seems like Jordan's going to play a huge part later on in the story. Well, maybe it's a little bit too
Yeah.
soon and stuff. They're still setting it up. I remember. These rule. Give it 3 chapters. Let's give it 3 chapters. But that's just very like yeah no that's very strange to me because like from the outside
Yeah.
looking in, it's like you know what that's probably how they get you to get diamond scenes too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do feel like because we are recording on chapters 1 through 3, like I feel like in these next 3 chapters, like we don't really get a lot of FaceTime with Jordan.
At
But that
all.
was the same problem that I had with the relationship with Sam, is that like all their encounters were like all sexual, and they only had like really 2 diamond scenes that weren't sexual, that were like more so lovey-dovey and
Absolutely.
sweet and kind of like hinted at sex maybe, but not really. And so that's why I had such a hard time believing the character development of the relationship between the two, because you only saw them when one of them was
Mm-hmm.
wet, you know what I mean? Like
Yes,
Anna
yeah,
was just fucking horny. And so it's like,
yeah.
how am I supposed to believe this is love the same way that like this affair that they're clearly setting up to me is not going to be believable, because in the first 3 chapters like we not even talking to the person.
Exactly. I concur. I concur. I like that. I like how
So
you,
I do feel like
yeah.
that's going to be an issue that they had in book 1. I don't think they're going to resolve in book 2, but you know, I said I have not read up to the most recent chapter at this point, so maybe I'm incorrect. If I would love to be proven wrong. this is not something I want to be right about, but like I don't see them improving the writing for the book. So I don't know. We'll see.
Listen, I've known V for going on 14 years.
Hmm.
I could probably count on one hand the amount of times she's been wrong. Like our whole life.
Watch all the listeners come up with at least 10 things I've gotten wrong over the
I
course of the podcast. Watch them come up with a list of 10 things I've gotten wrong.
Eric's
I
gonna
can't
come
wait
up
to
with
see the
4 by
list.
himself. Like
Eric's gonna come up with 4, and Fishy's gonna come up with 6. Actually, Fishy will come up with the list of 15 by herself, and Eric will tack on the last 4.
they're gonna come up with like a Miss Mojo like fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah!
They're gonna be
Top 10 moments that we got wrong in the podcast. And then it's like number 19, Lucas saying that V's
right,
got less than 10 things wrong over the
right.
course of 14 years.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, let me interrupt with some plugs. You can leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/play-choices-podcast/message. It could show up in a future episode. You can also directly support this podcast by going to anchor.fm/play-choices-podcast/support, which will allow you to support us on a monthly basis. You can also go to streamlabs.com/playchoicespodcast/tip to make a one-time tip. All of these links will also be available in the episode description. Thank you for your support, and let's get back to the episode. So later that night, Sam and Anna will agree that Jordan is the match. They want to hire Jordan to be a nanny. And Anna will ask Sam about a call that they got earlier. Okay, so earlier when they were doing the interviews, Sam had to step out because they had a call. And Sam was very vague about what this call was about. So Anna decides to bring that up now. She will ask Sam about the call that they got earlier. And Sam will admit that their dad is pissed at Sam and Robin for what happened in Italy. And their dad is calling a shareholder meeting and wants Anna to be there. So, dun dun dun, da, 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 you know, like, big cliffhanger.
Yeah,
for
which
chapter 1.
I do not like. What is this meeting in this company? I get it. I mean,
Why they want to parade me around like I'm
that's what I'm
Monica
saying.
Lewinsky? I just why?
Right. Because the first words out my mouth when they ask, like, do you have anything to say for yourself? I'm gonna be like, we were all doing the same thing.
We were all fucking. We all fucking. That's the thing. Like, and that's the thing is like, Sam and Robin have like positions of power in this company. So it's like they're literally leaders. Why you want me there? Just so everyone can point at me and be like, look at the whore. Look at the whore. Spread her legs.
It's so fitting that like one of the most like what's the word? Cliche quotes when it comes to like these rich people problems and like when like some scandalous crime happens, I'm
These
just the
champagne
nanny.
problems. Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
just the nanny. What do you want me
Mhm.
to do? I am just the nanny.
Mhm.
If the questions is not about Mason or Mickey, I can't help you.
Right. Like, that's really the only thing I have authority of. And, you know, according to the first couple of chapters where Sam was scolding me about how I treated them, not even really. Like, I really don't have any authority there either. Like, I'm literally just here as an open pussy. Like, that's the only thing I'm here for.
Oh my god. Don't no. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Sam, I can't make it. I cannot.
And you're like, suddenly I'm busy. I actually have to go talk to Jordan. I actually have to train Jordan on how to be a nanny that time. Okay, let's move on to chapter 2, titled The Shareholders. Can I just say, this book has the most boring chapter titles I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it's so... The Return, the Shareholders, the Publicists, like...
Yes.
So boring.
I mean, they just really tell you what the chapter's gonna be.
I mean, I guess you know what you're getting yourself into. That's the one thing I can say.
The title of the chapter is more descriptive than the synopsis. Like,
Stop it. Yeah, why are you right? Because the chapter summary literally says summer is officially over when the twins go back to school and you and Sam are called into a life-changing meeting. Like, what is that? The
Right,
shareholder meeting.
right, right.
Oh my god. Oh, I hope I hope if there was ever a series that I don't want PB to listen to is this series because the way that we rip into and I'm not editing it out. I'm
They
really
make it
not.
too easy. They make it too
Yeah,
easy.
this is an easy target. So, chapter 2 will open up in the morning before the boys go back to school. Sam gets a letter confirming that the twins are going to be in different third grade classes. Mickey is excited, but Mason is bummed to be in a different class. Sam will pull Anna aside and say that they've had to deal with a lot of changes lately and is probably getting to Mason. And Sam will suggest that they take the boys out to celebrate the last day of summer. Did you take this diamond scene?
No, you better grow the fuck up. I don't.
They're in
No,
third grade!
like, come on. We is
They're
not about to baby them. Like, they should be in the same class together anyways. Like,
It is weird that like they have put them in the same class together like this entire time. Like they've
it's
been through
weird.
kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, and they've been in the same class the whole time. Mm.
And if we want to be, if we want to be real, if we want to be honest, I
Mhm.
don't know how true this is. Okay. But I feel like in third grade, I want to say that like they what's the word? They look at your test scores for the third grade and they can tell from there like the likelihood of you like going to jail.
What?
Yeah,
I
hold
didn't
on.
know
Let
this
me
was
let
where
me
this was
Google this. Hold on.
going.
Hold on. Third grade stats. I'm gonna just put prison. I really I really feel like that's a thing. Yeah, it literally says, do prisons use third grade reading scores to predict the number of prison beds they'll need? And so, like, in third grade, that's when you start getting tested for, like, the accelerated, like, reading program and, like,
Mhm.
if you're going to be in more advanced placement classes. And if they're not in the same classes, that's why one of them's smarter than the other. We just got
Well, we
to
know
move
it's
forward.
Mason. We
I
know it's
mean,
Mason.
I mean,
We know it's Mason. Why'd you say one of them? We know who it is.
I was trying to leave it up to mystery.
So basically, what we're saying is Mason's gonna go to college and Mickey's gonna go to jail.
Right, right.
Oh my god. Mickey will be fine. He's gonna do some white collar crime anyways. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna get bailed out in the first 24 hours, you guys. Like, don't even worry about it. So I did go ahead and take the scene. I was just giving diamonds to the. I don't know. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me questions. I will not be taking any callers at this moment. If you want to know why I did certain things.
Mind your business.
Right. So they will take the boys to a place called the Golf and Game Park. God, these names. This is so not creative. Like, now there are some cute scenes where you do get some quality time with the boys, and Anna can take the boys aside and give them some pep talks. So we learn that Mason doesn't really have as many friends as Mickey, and Anna can encourage Mickey to help Mason make some friends at school. Anna will also give Mason a pep talk, encouraging him to be more bold and brave even when he feels alone. So it is like it's a cute scene. I'm not gonna talk shit about it, but obviously if you don't care about the boys, then there's no point in taking it. The
Oh, I'm laughing because you were like, if obviously if you don't care about the boys, and automatically my brain changed that to like the villains. Like, no, but you're right. It is a very cute scene. It just shows that Mason is like, the more timid, insecure
Mhm.
one. We protect him at all costs. Mickey,
Right.
he on some
He's
thin
going to jail.
ice. Yeah.
He's going to jail. We've predicted it. Mickey the jailbird.
I see it now. Nanny Affair 87, Mickey goes to jail for embezzlement. Like,
Please, not 87.
Ooh, the way they be making these stories in like, anywhere from 3 months to 6 months time frame,
Right,
we could make
yeah.
87 of them.
We really could between now and when Mickey inevitably goes to
Lord,
jail based off of his reading scores.
we gonna be cheating in the nursing home.
Oh my god.
Probably won't even remember it.
What if every The Nanny Affair book was about an affair? We just keep fucking other people, but we still together for some
Oh
reason.
my god. At this point,
Oh
let's just call
no.
it an open relationship.
I mean, why not, right?
Oh.
Why not? So the next day, Anna and Sam will drop the boys off at school. Mickey will excitedly run into the school, and Mason will lag behind. When the boys leave, Sam will offer to hold Anna's hand, but Anna hesitates because they're in public, and Sam will apologize, saying that they forgot where they were. To be honest, kind of a sad moment for me. Like, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Anna and Sam will head to the shareholders meeting, and in the meeting, it's really only Sam's dad, Paolo, which is Sofia's father,
Hmm.
and Robin. And Robin is pretty much like immediately upset that Anna's there, but Mason Sr. will defend her, her presence there. Mason Sr. will admit that the shareholders meeting was not an actual shareholders meeting. It was just an excuse to get Robin and Sam in the same room. Which, like, how hard are you beefing that your dad has to fake like an intervention
Literally.
for the two of you?
How old are we? Like,
This is ridiculous.
like
This is ridiculous. So Paolo will begin saying that since the merger fell through and Sofia has left, they need to figure out what to do next with the company. They have decided to hold a competition for CEO since neither child is, winning the trustworthiness award. And Robin and Sam will both be assigned to a division that is currently losing money and they must at least make it flat. The most profitable division at the end of the quarter will win, and the winner will be announced at the December holiday party. So it's kind of interesting. Like, it's interesting to note the timeline because Mason and Mickey just went to school, so that we're somewhere in August at this point, and we at least know the book's going to extend until December.
right.
So it is interesting to note that. Someone's going to have a bad Christmas. I'm just. It's going to be a bad Christmas for somebody. So Robin will quickly agree, and they go ahead and put dibs on manufacturing and will leave the room, leaving everyone like stunned because they're like, wow, how did Robin make a decision so quickly? Sam will get until the next morning to make their decision, and they reveal to Anna that they feel stressed on how many divisions there are to choose from. Sam will ask Anna to join them on a tour of all of the divisions, with some hints of them getting into some sexy times. So this is a scene for 19 Diamonds. Did you take the scene?
I took this scene for two reasons.
Okay.
One, I did really want to see like what divisions were a part of the company.
Can I just say there's too many?
It's too many, right? I was
Why did
like,
it
oh
have that
my
much?
god. And two, we already talked about it. I only want to have sex with Sam if there's a chance of getting caught.
Oh, I'm done. At this point, they're only having public sex, so that's the only way they can feel anything anymore for each other.
Right. Because I'm like, it was like, sneaky link. I said, oh yeah. I said, come on, let's go. Let's see what you want to do.
All right, I did take the scene too, primarily because like you, I wanted to see what the divisions were. So Anna and Sam will tour different divisions until Sam admits that the robotics division was the first place that they felt a spark of passion for the job. Anna will assert that Sam should then take over robotics, and there is also an opportunity for them to, it's not quite have sex, but they don't make it to fourth base, but they cross a few things. Afterwards, an intern will walk in and Anna will excuse herself to pick up the boys. Anna will meet Jordan at the school as they get ready for pickup. Anna will overhear other parents discussing the juicier details of Sam's breakup with Sofia and the affair. Jordan will step into the conversation to defend Anna and even threaten to make Sam aware of the rumors, and the threat will immediately calm down the chatter. I don't even know what type of power Sam must have in this like PTA
Right.
group to like shut that shit down, but it works. So I guess good for Jordan. Jordan handled that shit like a boss. Can we just say like Jordan came through?
Absolutely. And I understand, I can sympathize with Anna, but like Anna should have saw it coming. Like, I mean, You're messing with like very important business people of New York City, and you cannot have an affair, a four-way affair, and not expect some backlash from that.
Yeah. The way that they should have been had a publicist for this.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, come
Why
on,
are we waiting
come
until
on.
just now?
Why does Sam not have one on speed dial, knowing Sam's lucrative past? Like, what?
Yeah. It's just very. I don't understand why we have to wait until chapter 3 to get a publicist. Like, it feels like the moment that that shit went down where Sofia was in the party and was like, we fucking, everybody fucking, the publisher should have been like, no, no, no. No, 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 no. You should just have one on speed dial when you're that rich, as far as I'm concerned.
And the way that Sam said that the publicists that they do hire, we're skipping ahead a little, but Sam and the publicists that
Uh-huh.
we do hire, they're old friends. She was probably at the damn wedding.
Yeah.
She is well versed in like, celebrity culture.
Mm-hmm.
Our publicists know everybody. She make that known when we interact with her. She was probably
Yeah.
at the damn wedding.
Yeah. She should have called Sam and been like, you have my number. You know you need me. You know?
Absolutely.
Oh, so after that conversation, the boys are run out of school, and Mickey will tease Mason about having a girlfriend. So I don't even really know what to say about this, to be honest. Mason trying to be like, oh, I'm shy, and comes out with a whole girlfriend.
Villains. I'm
Uh,
trying to tell you the way, and it's not their fault. I want to give Mason and Mickey the benefit of the doubt. It's the
okay.
writing's fault. And choices, I'm
Uh-huh.
coming at you because
Oh.
the way they constantly the way they constantly go out of their way to put these like fill-ins and emotions and like paint this picture of these children being like sad about something, and then in the next scene it's completely different.
Yeah,
That's
there's
that
no
does not
time for
happen.
character development.
Absolutely, it doesn't happen in
There's
real
no
life.
time for them to sit with the conflict and sit with the
Mm-hmm.
feelings. Like, they do not get it.
Mm-mm. Like, come on. He
Right.
got a whole
No.
girlfriend. Okay, all right.
So later that day, Anna and Sam will discuss the rumors at school, and Sam will reveal that they want to hire a publicist to help them make their relationship public. What the publicist needs to do is clean up the mess from the last relationship. That's what the publicist needs to do.
Absolutely.
We don't need a
Absolutely.
publicist to help us be able to make out in public. Like, that's not what that's for.
Mm-mm.
Before we continue with the rest of the episode, let me interrupt to share our socials. We are at Play Choices Podcast on Instagram, Play Choices Pod on Twitter, and we're also on playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com. I'll post any episode notes relating to this week's episode on Tumblr. We're also available for streaming on all major platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review, as reviews help us in the platform's algorithm. If you leave us a 5-star review, we'll read it on the podcast. As always, we are a growing podcast. If you see us on your socials, we appreciate a reblog, a retweet, or a share depending on the platform you see us on. We also love it when you share our podcast with your choices-loving friends. And back to the episode. Let's jump to chapter 3 of the book, titled The Publicist. The summary says you and Sam meet the woman who will take your relationship in her own hands, but can you trust her? So the chapter opens up with Anna and Sam on their way to meet their new publicist, whose name is Naya. Sam will reassure Anna that they will make sure that she is comfortable throughout the entire process. At the meeting, Naya will ask for the entire truth of the affair, just she can't protect them if she doesn't know the full story. She teaches Anna and Sam that they should only admit to falling for each other after the broken engagement because she believes that the love story will overpower the scandal. Naya will say that she also needs to rehab their images individually before making their relationship public. Afterwards, they can go public, do a few appearances, and then do a tell-all. And Naya estimates that this is a year-long process at the most. So, did you panic upon hearing the year-long estimate?
No, I was like, damn, you're really good at your job if it only is going to take a year max, because
Yeah,
that's a lot of scandal to try to like, sweep under the rug, and then you want to create this whole false narrative that we fell in love after the engagement. And even that is just like kind of quick. Like, I mean, if you really love someone and you're about to marry them, we understand that it's from a business standpoint, but like everyone
right.
else, they don't.
Yeah.
And like, in my opinion, regardless of like, with the time that is allotted, Anna's still gonna look like a homewrecker.
Yeah, I think a year is a little fast.
It is. It really is. Like Anna really gonna look like a homewrecker.
Like, I get that Naya, like, is obviously giving them, like, an expedited timeline because, that's what they ask for. They want to be a couple, they want to be together in public, they don't want to have to hide anything. And, like, I get where Naya's coming from. But, like, look what happened with John Mulaney.
Exactly.
Look what
Exactly.
happened with John Mulaney. A year later, he is with a woman, impregnated her, they're having a child, and everyone is still like, that is very sus. They're having a kid. That's weird.
Absolutely.
After only a year. Like, there's definitely, like, I think a year, even from a public perspective. Now, granted, I don't think John Mulaney really, like, invested the PR resources to, like, help strengthen his story, to be
Mhm.
honest. He kind of just disappeared for a year and then came up on a talk show and was like, oh, yeah, in the past year, I came in somebody.
Right.
And that was it, right?
Right.
But, like,
Right.
even with like all of the stuff that Naya's doing in the background to make sure that like it looks good from a public perspective, like it just to me sounds very fast. And I agree with you that like Anna still sounds like a home wrecker. But I mean, if you think about it, like really what Anna wants is to be with Sam. So in the long run, I think as much as you can accomplish in such a short time period is really important.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Naya will also ask about how they should handle Sofia. Naya says it can either go on the offensive or leave Sofia alone. So what did you pick?
I said, if y'all don't leave that bitch alone, the
Uh
fuck?
huh.
Like, she has been through. Listen, Sophia, I have grown to, like, kind of understand her motives. A
Mm
sliver. Do you hear me? A sliver, I'm gonna give
hmm.
her the
Right.
benefit of the doubt. Because obviously, you see what type of family that she comes from. And the most important thing to her was proving to her dad that a woman is capable of running a business. And that clearly backfired with all the affairs that everyone was doing.
Right.
So it's like, why are we like going after her when we all have equal blame to what happened?
Yeah. No, I'm 100% there with you. I feel like at this point, like Sophia fucking left the country, right? She like
Yes.
I can't remember where she went. But like she's literally gone. Like
Yes,
we
yes.
have no reason to sit here and like harass her any longer. Like I guess if she were to come back, then that would be something different. But like at the moment, there's really no need. And like we just don't know what Sophia's motivations are going to be coming back. And I feel like just like attacking her preemptively is like not going to make the conversation any easier.
Right, absolutely.
And I think the last thing that Naya says is that they also need to give Sam a makeover to refresh their persona while still making sure that they're hot. So it's 20 diamonds. Did you take this one?
The worst diamond scene I took.
The worst
Jesus.
one? What even happened?
Not the it's like not the worst, but it's just the same old Sam and Anna shit. Like I genuinely, because it was like, oh, this outfit is, Sam's gonna wear this outfit for the entire duration of the story. So I was like, oh, that's
Uh-huh.
cute. That's gonna be cute. Why did Anna, like I said, I have a male Sam Li. Anna
Uh-huh.
gonna give him a blowy, and they supposed to be working on the image, and I'm like,
It's
this
the
is.
same shit that we were doing at the end of the last book.
I'm like, y'all really, oh.
Just going throat deep on this man in the middle of a random changing room. Ain't Naya supposed to be there?
She on the outside, and she's like,
They
everything okay in there? And I'm like, oh my god.
might as well let her know who the fuck she dealing with now.
I'm like, we just hired her. Like,
Why in the world? Can someone explain to me what do you remember what the excuse that Anna used to get into that dressing room in the first place? Because like to me, if I was going shopping with like my man and someone else, I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, let me just quickly sneak in this fitting room, girl.
yes,
I'll be right back." Like
no, I
it's
do
weird
not
as fuck.
remember.
Oh my god.
But no, yeah, it's just like I was like, wow, we're nothing has changed. Nothing.
Everything is always about sex, like in every single diamond option. They always need some excuse to expose a little bit of genitalia
And it's so
just to spice it up.
crazy. I thought they would just be more like I don't know, a little more in-depth conversation about like, hey, maybe we should start planning the future. But like,
Right? You're like, I thought we would start acting like fucking adults,
I
but
forgot it's called the Nanny Affair Book 2. So like, I just
right. No, I mean Sam and Anna are just basically horny teenagers. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
absolutely like
Disappointing.
Mason and Mickey about to be older than y'all. Can y'all stop?
More mature. Definitely more mature for sure.
Where's Carter? Like,
Where's Jordan?
oh my god, it's just so much
It's
with
like the
them.
side characters are better than the main characters at this point.
Absolutely. Where's Robin?
Oh, Lord. You want him after the scene he made in the investors meeting?
And
So,
that's no that just shows the validity of the situation because they had to trick us to go to that meeting because everybody was acting
no,
like 2 years
exactly.
olds. Like, come
I'm telling you,
on.
all of the central characters, like, I'm just not a big fan of them right now.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Ugh. So later, Anna will find Jordan cleaning up the boys' room, and Jordan admits that they made forts the night prior, but the twins set up an experiment under the forts, which made a huge mess. And Anna will give Jordan some advice for dealing with the boys, and then they're interrupted when Naya brings the contracts for Anna and Sam to sign. Naya is pretty horrified to find out that Anna and Sam are still living together and says that they need to separate for now. So Naya will take Anna to go apartment hunting. Anna seems really stressed about the style of the apartments, and Naya emphasizes that Sam said there would be no budget when it came to Anna feeling comfortable in her new home. Anna does express concern about the amount of luxury and how much it's all costing, and Naya is impressed that Anna doesn't seem interested in taking advantage of Sam's money. Then Naya will take Anna to an apartment building that is close to both the penthouse and the company, but is more Anna's style. During the tour, Naya will reveal that Sam has gotten her help before with their first wife, Addison. Naya says that Addison didn't really want Naya's help, potentially because she felt like asking for help was admitting a weakness. And Naya reassures Anna that Sam asking for Naya's assistance means that Sam is serious about protecting their relationship, which I thought was probably the sweetest thing
Yeah,
that has
that's
occurred.
yeah. I was about to say that's a little endearing. My heart kind of did like a little ooh, a little flutter.
Right.
I got one butterfly in my stomach right now.
Yeah, just one. His wing's a little tattered, but
Yeah,
he's there.
he he flying around like a moth, all broken and shit. Like,
Right. So Naya will ultimately show Anna two styles of an apartment, one of which is more premium. And picking the premium background is 18 diamonds and will unlock a scene with Sam and the boys. So did you pick this background?
hell no, because I thought Sam was paying for it, and I was like, I am not
Oh,
about to pay no diamonds on no.
you know what? You're not wrong. You are not wrong. I don't think I bought. No, I know I did not buy this. I did not buy this apartment. Before we continue with the rest of the episode, I do want to remind everyone that if you have any questions or comments that you would like to be included in a future episode, please email us at playchoicespodcast@gmail.com. Questions can be related to books we've recorded episodes on, books that we haven't read yet, or even questions you'd like to ask us. Please specify if you want a shout out, otherwise all emails will be anonymous. Alternatively, you can go to our Ask box on playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com and submit a question. Just specify that is for the podcast and we'll be sure to include it. And back to our episode. So, if you do buy the background, a new scene will begin where the boys pretty much immediately start trying to break shit in your apartment.
Oh,
Uh huh. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because I'm normally not the one, but menaces,
oh my
villains.
God, they about to be our stepchildren.
I
Mm-mm.
know that's the thing. Like we really fought for this. We really went tooth and
I
nail for
know,
this.
right? We really went to war for this. Oh no. Okay. Okay.
So, while the boys play in the apartment, Anna will ask Sam about Addison, and Sam will reveal that Addison didn't really have the know how for the media and ended up being the headline of like every news story in their relationship. Sam acknowledges that they waited too long to get her help, which is why Sam is asking for help like earlier in their relationship. So Anna and Sam will make a promise on their communication to make sure that they don't also lose sight of focusing on their relationship, even if they have to keep it on the DL. And later, Anna will get a phone call from Naya, and Naya reveals that she thinks Anna needs to impress the parents of the twin school, which she should do by throwing a party for
Hell
them.
no. Hell no.
Right. Normally, I would
Hell
just jump into
no.
rapid fire impressions, but I think we should just go into like how do you feel about the housewarming party?
Yes, yeah. Okay, spoiler, we hate everyone. All right, next.
Right.
Everyone is getting on our nerves.
Right.
Jordan, we don't know enough for him to have value yet. All right. This party.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
In what sense does it make for her to even throw this fucking party?
It doesn't make any fucking sense because she has literally no relation to the kids or Sam in the public eye at this point. Like,
She
she has quit her fucking job.
Yes,
She is no longer the nanny. For all intents and purposes, like, her and Sam, like, in the public eye, are not in a relationship. They're not even friends. They just have, like, a working relationship. And she, like,
absolutely.
had to quit because of some quote unquote alleged drama. And so it's like I don't understand. Like I feel like inviting them over for a party would make them like more suspicious, especially because during the whole affair, she never went out of her way to make any relationship with like the PTA parents.
No, not at all.
It literally doesn't make any sense.
It's insane to me that like Anna, you a 2 week notice nanny. Like that's all you got left is two.
Literally,
You got 2 weeks. That's
literally.
it. And you want
Like
to
you only stayed behind to train Jordan.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Jordan, he would have to be there. He would have to be there for it to make sense.
Yeah,
And even if he is there, it still doesn't make like a whole lot of sense
it makes zero sense.
because like okay, me and V, we parents, right? I'm the gay dad. We chilling on the side. I'm looking at V and I'm gonna be like, "Did you get that invitation to that housewarming party?"
I'm
And
gonna
V's
be
gonna be
like,
like, "Yeah, yeah. It's a little weird though." I'm gonna look at V and I'm gonna be like, Why is she throwing it if she has no correlation with the kids at all?"
right.
In 2 weeks, she's gone.
Well, that's what's so weird is because like the twins were literally not in school, right? Like during the last book because took place over the summer.
Right,
Now the summer's over and the moment that school has started, she's quitting.
right.
So like there's literally no overlap in the timeline where like she needs to meet them.
And also, just the whole setup of like they they can't be seen together for 6 months to a year, right?
Mhm.
We know these bitches fuck like rabbits. So in what world they just needed a solid alibi as to why Anna is still in Sam's life because this whole like I'm gonna train Jordan and then I'm gonna go ghost like no one's gonna see me with Sam. That's unrealistic. That is
Yeah,
completely
I agree with
unrealistic.
that. Because otherwise, like, how else would they bump into each other in the same social circles?
Exactly.
That's pretty much it. And like I can see from Naya's point of view where she's like, "Hey, these people do hold like quite a lot of clout. If you want to be like Sam's like serious girlfriend, then you need to like basically go in the shits and giggles with them because
Hmm.
like that's the type of clout that you need to be able to, carry. You need to have a good reputation, yada yada yada. I get it. But from the perspective of someone who allegedly has no idea about this affair, for Anna to be throwing this party is real weird.
It is. It really is. It
It's
really
real
is.
strange. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
next episode.
yeah. See y'all next time. We'll
Right.
talk about it.
And do you have any predictions for what the next few chapters are going to be?
Mm. I think how the setup of relationship tension is my prediction is that these next couple chapters Anna's gonna pretend like she has it together.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is gonna be aloof and absent-minded, and thus making her connection with Jordan just like a little, maybe like a little, maybe two butterflies in her stomach instead of one,
Mm-hmm.
and they have proper wings. They ain't got no
Uh-huh.
broke down wings.
Right. They're like a newborn butterfly's wings, so
Right. And then that is going to like start to create like a divide and a mental strain on like exactly what she wants in a relationship. Cause I mean, like Anna always does, she's biting off more than she could chew.
right.
She just doesn't realize it yet because
Yeah.
mm-mm. She has truly never had to go without Sam's touch.
No, literally. Oh my god, I've never heard something more accurate.
She's never had to do that.
I think some drama that I would like to see, because like I said, we've made this comment, neither of us really believe that like Sam and Anna are in love,
Mm-hmm.
really. Like I think they're infatuated, and I think that this is like their first test at a real relationship. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, I definitely think there's going to be some conflict between the two of them because like they do not actually know like how to love each other. Like they're still learning, even though they've been fucking for 3 months. Like I would think after the first 3 months of a relationship, like it would kind of calm down a little bit because you two kind of know each other. And
Yes.
so like I think you'd be a little bit less likely to argue because I think by the time you're spending 3 months and especially considering she was living with him, you know, you would kind of know like, oh, this is this person's quirks and like this is what they like to hear, this is what they don't like to hear, this is what I should do, this is what I shouldn't do, or else they're going to get a little irritated. But because this is like their first real attempt at a relationship, like I think that conflict is definitely going to develop
Oh yeah.
just because they're learning how to be in a relationship with each other. I think the obviously the down low part of the relationship like is going to be an issue at some point. And one thing that I would really love to deep dive a little more because, like I said, this is just the beginning of like their quote unquote relationship where they're supposedly in love. And I would like to understand more about like Sam's ex-wife because
Yes.
one thing that I just think that is very common for couples to discuss is like their very last relationship, especially since Sam's last relationship was literally marriage.
Yes.
So it would make sense for them to kind of talk about that, especially if Naya's bringing it up, if Anna asks Sam about it and Sam discloses, like, yeah, this is what happened. It was rough. Like, I would want to know more. And, like, I get that it's
Absolutely.
painful, but it's like, we both just need to sit in that pain, to be
Yes,
honest.
yes, yes. And we're not even like taking into account that Sam for the next like so school just started, so let's say,
Mm-hmm.
late August. For the next 4 months, Sam is literally has to spend most of their time focused on their job because they
Oh
have
my
to beat
god, no,
Robin.
literally. And they
B-
got into that fight at the end of the book.
Yeah, yeah,
So, like, Anna literally just aired this complaint out to Sam, like, what is
hmm
it, 2 months ago at this point? Because, what, no, or maybe a month and a half because I want to say Italy was like maybe like mid to late June
right.
or July, right? Or June, whatever months, summer, you know what I'm saying? And like they literally just got into an argument about being like, hey, you're always at work, and so like I just don't know how. I don't know how that's gonna work. Anna's a nanny also, well, and she's no longer a nanny. So like, what is she doing in her free time?
Yes, exactly. These are questions that, PTA moms are gonna ask. Like, oh, well,
Exactly.
what are you gonna do now? You know?
Exactly. And we have questions, they have questions, and they need to be answered.
Sam buying you nice apartments, and they're like, oh wow, is this, was this
Yeah, how did you afford this on the nanny
exactly?
salary?
I'm
You
trying to tell
saved
you
up this much money?
how I see these moms are truly like the moms from Bad Moms with Mila Kunis, and
Mhm.
like nothing escapes them bitches. Like they
No.
they no, they are the gossip. They are the gossip.
Yeah.
Anna not she's not gonna be able to navigate that. I'm worried for her,
Right.
and that means I'm worried for myself because what's she gonna drag me into as a reader?
Exactly.
Like,
um I think that's pretty much all the questions I came up with, to be honest. I think that's it.
good.
Because we've already established we're not doing rapid fire impressions
Mm-mm.
because we don't like anybody right
We do
now.
not like anybody.
Maybe Jenny.
She
And
ghosts.
this, yeah, because she's not here, so it's easier to like her. And I'll say I do like the boys, even though I don't think Lucas can relate to that opinion.
I am willing to upgrade them from villains to like mischievous, uh, preteens. Oh, wait, they're eight.
That's fair.
Mischievous children. You know
Right.
what? Mischiefs, if you will.
Uh huh. No, I think that that's accurate.
I'm breaking shit already. See, oof. If I would have paid for that
I know
double
how you
seed,
gonna tell me to someone's brand new house and you running around. And Sam didn't snatch the life out of them?
I'm Like, I trained you guys on a proper etiquette as a nanny.
No,
And why, like,
literally 3 months out the fucking window, out the fucking wazoo. Doesn't matter anymore.
you got me looking bad in front of Jordan. I don't want to talk about it.
I know Jordan was hyping us up in the interview, being like, wow, you must be an amazing nanny if you were able to keep the boys out of the conflict. And I'm like, yeah, but I was able to keep them busy, but they were destroying shit the whole time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think that's it for our episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all so much for listening. We release new episodes every Saturday, midnight if you're Eastern Standard Time. It'll be 9 p.m. if you're PT time. But yeah, I think that's it for us.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.